"Don't come back tomorrow." "What do you mean?" She narrowed her eyes and said, "Basically, don't come to the office." I panicked internally. Could this mean I'm being fired? No, that can't be, I reassured myself. Why? She seemed to think for a moment before answering. "Having someone like you here is a nuisance to the company." Several months later, actually since you left, the company's performance has deteriorated. I had valued your abilities, so if you're willing, would you consider coming back? President, to be honest, I liked my job at the former company, but I prefer the new one. I understand, but your return could save our company. I need you to help us out. I decided to make a proposal to President Smith. If I return, I would like you to reconsider my terms. Of course. What kind of terms are you looking for? Could you pay me $15 million annually if I come back? He looked a bit surprised. My name is Kenny White. I'm in my mid-40s, but I still feel young at heart. I've been working at a certain company for a long time. This company is a tech firm that manufactures various products. Technology in this context refers to special methods and techniques for creating things. I work there as an engineer. Engineering involves thinking through complex issues. It's not a popular job, but I love it because it feels great to see things made from my ideas come to life. It's even better when the people who use these products are happy. That's why I work hard every day. My expertise is apparently top-notch in this industry. Without someone like me, special projects can't proceed. Many people collaborate to achieve one big thing. At home, I have a wife and a daughter who cherish me greatly. When I return home, my daughter greets me with a smile, saying, "Welcome back." That moment is the happiest of my day. My wife understands my work well. Even if I come home late, she waits without getting mad. But sometimes I wish I could spend more time with my family. On days off, I cherish the time I have with them. My friends often say, "White, you are a workaholic," but I'm just doing what I love. Learning technology has been my dream since I was young, so my current job fulfills that dream. Of course, life isn't all about work. I also have a modest hobby. On weekends, I often go fishing. I enjoy the challenge of fishing in quiet seas or rivers. Cooking the fish I catch and eating it with my family is one of my joys. Anyway, I like my current life. Balancing family, work, and hobbies is tough, but I still feel happy. I plan to keep working hard to protect this happiness. It's spring, and a new person has joined the company. Her name is Mary Smith. She's very beautiful and looks demure. Although her appearance is pleasant, her occasional cold gaze is concerning. What surprised me most was learning that she is the daughter of the president. At that moment, I felt a bit nervous about not messing up. At the beginning, she worked normally, but then I started noticing a change. Miss Mary began assigning me special tasks. Isn't this a bit too much? Do you have a complaint? It's my directive. Please do it. A task is like a small goal within the work. This task was a bit difficult for the average person, but for someone experienced like me, it seemed too easy. As days passed, the tasks from Miss Mary increased. From morning till night, it was all work. Even at home, all I could think about was work. Lately, I haven't been able to show my face properly to my wife and daughter. I'm starting to feel a bit tired. One day, I had a bit of an argument with Miss Mary. I can't handle this many tasks. I'm telling you to do it, so please do it. The atmosphere in the office began to change. Others also started to avoid Miss Mary, but all I could do was work hard at my job. It seemed Miss Mary might be enjoying troubling me using her position. I heard that the president had given her free rein to do as she pleased. I wished she would stop, but I worked this job to support my family. Thinking I should at least try, I went to the office every day, but I couldn't keep this up. My body wouldn't last. So I decided to speak up to Miss Mary. Recently, the volume of tasks is so big that it's difficult to maintain the quality of work. Could we possibly reduce the amount a little? You're getting paid, so please do it properly. We need you to do these tasks for it to count as work. It seemed nothing got through to Miss Mary. Neither I nor my family could be happy. While I had been busy every day, I was recently involved in a particularly large project. It was a job to create a new machine. Every day, I spent late into the night experimenting and trying out new things. Physically and mentally, I was on the edge. Finally, the design for the machine was completed. The thrill and sense of achievement at that moment were indescribable. This design would be used to create a new machine that would make work easier for many people. That's why this project was so important. A few days later, the day of the presentation at the company came. A presentation is when you share your ideas or creations with others. Today was the day I would show the design of the new machine I conceived to my colleagues. That morning, my heart was pounding, but I wanted many people to recognize the design of the machine I had thought up. When I entered the conference room, many senior managers were seated. Then the presentation started. However, something shocking happened midway. Miss Mary suddenly stood up and presented almost the same design as mine, claiming it as her own. "This is a new design I came up with." The conference room fell eerily silent. Everyone was surprised and looking at me. I didn't know what to say. To have someone present my heartfelt design as their own. "That's the design I came up with." "No, I came up with it." Everyone looked unsure about who was right. I felt frustration growing inside me. Something I worked so hard on got so easily taken away. The presentation ended, and everyone left the conference room. But inside, my heart was growing darker. To have my own ideas taken like this, I couldn't believe it. As I finished my work for the day, it felt like Miss Mary's actions were escalating day by day. With these thoughts in mind, I continued working as usual. While I was replacing parts in the machine and testing it, I heard Miss Mary's voice from behind. "Mr. White, could you come here for a moment?" I put down my tools and went over to her. She was standing in front of her desk, looking at me. "Don't come here tomorrow." "What do you mean?" I asked, confused. She narrowed her eyes and said, "Basically, don't come to the office." I panicked internally. Could this mean I was being fired? No, that couldn't be. I reassured myself. "Why?" I asked. She seemed to ponder for a moment before answering. "Having someone like you here is a nuisance to the company." "A nuisance?" I don't understand. What's so troublesome? I'm just shocked, but I've worked hard all this time. So what? My decision has nothing to do with your effort, she replied coldly. Her icy words left me speechless. I just stood there frozen. And so, my day at work ended with a heavy heart. When I got home, I couldn't bring myself to tell my family what had happened. I just lay in bed, staring at the ceiling. No matter what, I couldn't get Miss Mary's words out of my head. Don't come here tomorrow. Was this going to be my last day at work? Or was there some way to resolve this? After a night of thinking, I decided to quit my job. There was no time left to keep pondering. I had a family to take care of. First thing in the morning, I told my family about my decision. My wife and daughter were surprised, but they understood how I felt. "It's okay. We believe in you," my wife said as she hugged me. A few days later, I got a call from a rival company. They knew of my technical skills and wanted to welcome me to their team. Without hesitation, I accepted their offer. As a new employee, I quickly learned about a significant project. This new project was deeply tied to the company's future direction and strategies. Its success could significantly influence the industry. In the meeting rooms, cafeteria, and even in passing hallway conversations, this project was all anyone talked about. The employees' eyes sparkled with anticipation, and excitement filled the air. Whether it was the development of a new product or a large-scale marketing campaign, the details were not yet disclosed, but it was clear that everyone eagerly awaited its outcome. Then one day, I was suddenly nominated by my boss. I was chosen to lead the project. The surprise came with a sense of pressure given the significant role entrusted to me. Yet, more than that, I felt a thrilling excitement about the opportunity to lead this important project to success. I never expected such a great opportunity to test my abilities to come so quickly. Since the project started, every day has been enjoyable. Working toward a single goal with new colleagues has been incredibly rewarding. As a result, the project was a tremendous success. News of our success spread quickly within the industry. I became an overnight star in the field. My new coworkers respected me, and many expressed a desire to learn from my expertise. I was satisfied with my job at the new company and found myself thinking less and less about my former workplace. However, one day, I heard news about my old company. Their performance had drastically declined, and the reason cited was my departure. Hearing that gave me a bit of satisfaction. While I was enjoying success at my new company, the old one continued to fail. Knowing this, I felt reassured that my decision to leave had been the right one. With each new project I started, I thought less and less about my former company. It was proof that I was moving forward, aiming for new successes every day. One afternoon, while enjoying lunch outside and browsing the news on my phone, an article about my old company caught my eye. Their performance had worsened even more than before, and once again, my departure was analyzed as a significant reason for the decline. Rumors even suggested that President Tim Smith might retire. He had a tendency to look down on people, just like his daughter, Mary Smith. I had seen him indulge her many times. When I was fired, it was said that anyone who couldn't get along with Mary deserved it. The next day at work, my colleagues were talking about my old company. "Mr. White, it sounds like that company is having a tough time. Can you really make such a big impact just by leaving?" Honestly, I'm surprised myself, I admitted. Amidst this, I received a call from an unexpected person, Mary Smith. She was the very person who had pushed me out of the company. What could she possibly want now? "Mr. White, can we meet and talk a bit?" I hesitated but was curious about what she had to say. "Okay, where shall we meet?" "How about a cafe?" We agreed to meet there. When I arrived, she looked visibly downcast. "Mr. White, you seem to be doing incredibly well. I, on the other hand, keep failing." It appeared that the projects Mary had been involved in were failing one after another since my departure. The decline in performance I'd seen in the news might have been influenced by her actions. "Mary, you have a tendency to take credit for others' work and operate without regard for others. Could that be the reason for your failures?" "I'm trying my best," she said, then started crying. However, what she said next took me by surprise. "Actually, my father is having a tough time with the company. He was wondering if you could come back." I was shocked by her words. I had never even considered returning to my previous company. Looking at her, she seemed genuinely distressed. On the other hand, I truly liked my new company. I have a good relationship with everyone, and every day is enjoyable. A few days later, President Tim Smith himself called me. His voice was as loud and strong as ever. "Mr. White, it's been a while. Can we talk?" "President, long time no see. What do you need?" "Actually, since you left, the company's performance has deteriorated. I always valued your abilities, so if possible, would you consider coming back?" I did like my job at the previous company, and I still get along well with my other colleagues. But I also like my life at the new company, and I wonder, can I really get along in a company with both Mary and the president? It was as if I had been fired because of those two. "President, to be honest, I liked my job at the former company, but I prefer the new one. I understand, but your return could save our company. I need you to help us out." Then I decided to make a proposal to President Smith. "If I return, I would like you to reconsider my terms." "Of course. What kind of terms are you looking for?" "Please stop indulging Mary. If I do that, Mary might hate me. If I return, can you pay me $15 million annually?" "What?" He looked a bit surprised. "There's no way we can pay that much. I'm fine either way." "Hold on. All right. Mary's issue and $15 million, if that's what it takes to save the company." After that, negotiations with President Smith progressed, and I ultimately returned to my former company under these conditions. After expressing my gratitude to my colleagues at the new company, they sent me off with good wishes. And so my work at the previous company began once again. Some time has passed since I returned to the old company. The office still looked the same as before. One day, Mary was standing in front of my desk. Her face seemed a little different than before. More mature, it seemed. Her work experience had made her grow. "Mr. White, do you have a moment?" "Yeah, what's up?" She looked a bit nervous. I'm really sorry about what happened before. I put you through a lot because of me. Her words conveyed a sincere sense of remorse. It's okay. That's all in the past now. Mary looked relieved and smiled. Thank you so much. From now on, I will respect you more. After that, my relationship with Mary improved significantly. It seems the president also told her, I will be stricter from now on. She acknowledged her mistakes and seemed to be growing. The atmosphere in the office has become brighter. One day, President Smith was standing in front of my desk. Mr. White, good job. Thank you, President. Thanks to you, the company's performance has improved. I really appreciate it. I felt a bit embarrassed by his praise. I'm counting on you moving forward. And so, the company began to walk the path of success once again. I am grateful to be able to work with Mary, President Smith, and my other colleagues. I enjoy my work every day and am able to achieve results. In the end, everything is moving in a good direction. I truly feel it was right to return to my former company, and so I resolved to continue working hard. As time passed, my life kept getting better. The company was successful, and my technical skills were increasingly recognized. One day, I started a new project. It was intended to improve the lives of many people. If this succeeds, it will bring joy to many people, I thought. As preparations for the project advanced, many people got involved. Finally, the project launched. I worked hard every day, and as a result, the project was a great success. I received words of thanks from many people every day. It's truly incredible. You're helping so many people, they said. Dad, that's amazing. While work is going well, I'm also able to spend happy days with my family. Weekends are increasingly spent on picnics or trips with my family. Time with my wife and daughter has become the most precious thing to me. One day, a group of young employees came to me. They expressed a desire to learn under my guidance. Mr. White, we want to learn from you, from the technology that changed the industry, they said. Of course. I'd be happy to teach you. I took on the role of mentoring the next generation of engineers as a central part of my new responsibilities. Every day, in a bright meeting room, I face these young employees, imparting my experience and know-how. At the beginning, answering their questions and doubts was a bit nerve-wracking, but gradually it became something I looked forward to. The young staff brought fresh ideas and new ways of thinking, and each discussion led to new discoveries for me as well. Seeing them gradually incorporate my teachings and then develop new methods on their own was truly rewarding. One day, a young employee successfully completed a new project using a technique I had taught. His eyes sparkled with excitement as he thanked me. In that moment, I felt that this educational role was my new calling. Every day, I am filled with gratitude. I owe my success to the support of those around me, and I have vowed to continue embracing new challenges with my family and colleagues.